So hey guys, this is Gellis here, and in this video we'll be making a very easy, very simple gather skirt. So first, to get the gather skirt ready, you need of course fabric, right? So the fabric I have here, so the waist measurement for this fabric is 38. So if the waist measurement is 38, I just multiply that by 2 and I cut the fabric, because it's a gathered fabric we're making here. So this, I still have to take out some of the paper there, but this is like this. So this side is 38, right? And I just double it itself. So 38, so right, so 38 here, and then 38 here, okay? So if your waist is 40, then you multiply by 2, because we are gonna be making a very easy gathered skirt with elastic waist itself. So also with the length, you could cut the length as your desired length. I want my skirt long, so I want my skirt long here, so I'm gonna just leave it long, but you could of course cut it to whatever length you want. So if you want it, for instance, if you want 20, leave 1 inch extra for hem allowance, okay? All right, so next you are going to need your elastic, of course. So for your elastic, now let me show you. The elastic, get it exactly. If your waist is 40, just get a 40 waist inch elastic, because the elastic stretch. Like for instance, this is my elastic here. Remember, it's gonna stretch, right? You're gonna stretch a lot. So you don't need anything additional, because you would need it itself. And then you would need your pin cushion, your pins. You may need a seam ripper in case, and lastly you need needle and thread. So let me get it here. So for the needle and thread here, right, you want to thread the needle and a double, right? So you double the needle, and you want to make sure that it can go all around your waist, like the thread that you in the needle can go all around your waist, because you will need it to gather the skirt within the waistband itself. So that's what you need, and of course you need your sewing machine and your scissors. Let's get started. Okay guys, so now you're going to be taking your full gather skirt here, right? So your full skirt here. This is the bottom here that you've seen here, and this part is the top, okay? So what we're going to do, we'll have now our needle and thread. So I want to see the needle and thread here. Make sure the bottom of the needle and thread here is tied fully with a full knot, right? So you have a nice big knot here. And then we're gonna start gathering this end here. Okay, so how we make sense here? So the top end, we're gonna gather this to the side. So we're not gonna do anything with the sides, right? So we're gonna gather all the way here. So let me start it for you, so you would see what I'm talking about. So we're gonna go down, nicely like this. So you see, you're just gathering like regular, like right here. See, there's nothing that I'm doing strange here. Just gathering to the very top. You're gonna gather it all the way down. So what I'm gonna do, there's some time of the gather, you're just gonna pull the thread like this. All right. So you pull the thread like this, and then the knot would stop it there, right? So you see, we have that gathery looking already. Then we're gonna continue, okay? So that's what I'm gonna be doing now. Just continue with the gather. So that would be, like I mentioned again, if your waist 40, you're gonna multiply that by 2, so that'll be 80, and then you cut the full width of the skirt 80, and then your length is whatever desired length you want it itself. Right, so that's what I'm gonna continue doing all the way to the end. So I want you to go ahead and do that for me. Okay, all the way to the end. All right, so we're gonna do it all the way to the end, and then we're gonna come back. All right, so now we are complete here. So we're complete here to the end. So I'm just gonna pull this down here. See, so I'm gonna hold it like this. So everything's supposed to be something like this, right? So you see, when you pull the thread together here, See, it's gathering, right? That's how it is. Okay, so the next step now, what we'll do, we'll take our elastic. Let me come closer. So you'll take your elastic here now, so the elastic that you have here now, and we will pin it down according to our gathered here. So I'm gonna do it here. I want to make sure that you see that it's very, very simple. It's not difficult at all. Now you would take your, you would ensure that your skirt, so this is the right size facing me now. The right side of the skirt, I mean the outside of the skirt, like the right side here, the outside of the skirt is touching me here now. And this is the wrong side facing the camera itself, right? So the elastic, it doesn't really matter which size, because once you have a big elastic, it's fine. Then I am going to pin the skirt now according to the size of the elastic. All right, so as the elastic go, I'm going to gather it in, gather the skirt in. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this down. Okay, so I'm going to take the pin here. I'm going to put the pin here, right? Then I'm going to make sure I adjust my gather. So I want to adjust my gather. So let's say I'm just going to do like a, I'm just going to do a wild tuck pin here first. Just a wild tuck pin. And I'm going to come here and I'll do that at the very edge here. Right, and then I'm going to actually straighten it up nicely. Okay. So right here. Okay, so this is what I'm doing here. So I'm going to adjust this here now. Actually, I'm going to move. All right, I'm going to remove this one. So let me adjust the skirt so you can see. So I'm adjusting the skirt, loosen it up, loosen it up, loosen it up, loosen it up, so you can feel. So this skirt is not a lot of gather because I just make it double. If you wanted like a full bouncy gather skirt, then you could go your waist times 3. I think of what I mentioned earlier, right? So now I'm gonna just gather it up like this. So I make it easy what I'm doing here. You could actually go ahead and put it on the table. Take your time and adjust the gather here, right? What I'm doing. So I'm adjusting the gather here. And I'm gonna pin. So all this I'm gonna sew down. But just take your time with the gather. And you pin it nicely. So now I think I'm okay here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just pinning it down here still. Right. So I'm gonna be adjusting the whole skirt. So since I don't want too much gather, just lightly gather, but it's not too much. So it's like this. Okay. So now it's too slack. I'm gonna adjust it here. So you adjust it with the needle and thread here, right? So you adjust it like you pull the gather in, or you loose it out with the needle and thread. And the thing is, the gather have to fit the elastic like exact. See, like that, exact. So I'm just still adjusting it here. Just some place that look less gather. Just want to make sure that the gather is even. So you're just gonna even the gather, right? And this skirt could make very thick. So like I mentioned, if you want more gathered, you could put, like for instance, I have 38 and I just multiply that by 2. You could put 38 plus 38 plus 10 if you want, like more fabric, to add more fabric, plus 15 plus 20. Don't get confused. It's just that I'm just adding more fabric, that's all. So you could go your waist times 2, which 38 multiplied by 2. If you're 40 waist, you go multiply by 2. If you're 20 waist, you multiply that by 2, so you'll be 40. Or you could even go more. You could go 40, 42, 45. That's the full width of the fabric I'm talking about. So there's not a definite. I just want to show you how easy it is to sew in general. Like for instance, I'm just doing this big, right? So you see the back side here is just lightly gathered, and I'm not stretching the elastic is fitting the waist itself. What I'm doing is just adjusting the gather itself, right? So I hope that making sense. And I'm doing it here, so you could actually see exactly what I'm doing here. If you need to redo the video, you could definitely go do so, but it's actually a very therapeutic, I'm not gonna lie to tell you, because it's something that I love. So now it's a little bit too big, so I'm just gonna use my thread here just to adjust the gathered. So you see how it looks here. I didn't pin it yet. All right, so now I'm gonna pin it, and if there's some place look less gathered, just adjust more gathered, right? And I like it like this. I'm gonna pin it nicely now. So pin this here, good. Yeah. And then what we're gonna do, make sure it's at the very end of the fabric of the elastic, because remember, except you could have a really thick elastic. This elastic is a 1-inch elastic. Sometimes we have 2-inch elastic, so you have more elastic, you know, towards your waist. Yeah, but this one is just a 1-inch elastic. So make sure the fabric is at the very edge of the elastic, because when you're sewing, you're gonna sew right at the very edge of the elastic. Okay, so I'm gonna come here. So here I find I have a lot of gather here. I'm gonna just adjust some of the gather and bring it a little bit, just repin again over there, that's all. Right? Yeah, so this is a very easy method of making a skirt. Very easy method of making a skirt. So I'm gonna come here. See, so I have a lot of gathered here, so I'm just gonna adjust it down. So some of the pin, you see, like I have less gathered here, some of them I'm just gonna adjust it here. So I'll adjust this pin here and bring down some of the gathered more, so it could be more even in the skirt, while I'm then showing that I'm pinning it at the very waist, the edge of the elastic itself. Okay, so see, I'm gonna take out this a little and just adjust the gather, and I think I should be fine. Yeah, I think it's good. Yep. So it's just a matter of eyeballing it, and just pretty much just looking at it to see, okay, is there one part more gathery than another? Do I want to adjust? Yeah, that's all you're doing here. I think I'm okay here. So this is the big bulk of the of getting the gather skirt prepared. Once you settle and you're comfortable, the gather is even enough on the skirt, then the next thing is just to sew and then put your seam and you're done, pretty much, right? And again, like I said, you can make it thicker. This one is very thin. I just want to show you itself. So all right, so this is how it is here, guys. So you see how it is. Right now I'm going to turn it the other way now. So that's how it is. So I'm going to turn it this way now. We're just going to sew it down, and then we'll see how it looks. So just take out your pin and just sew. And for me, I have really thick pin. So I hope you're seeing how it is here. So for me now, I'm gonna stop every time and take out my pins. And my pins, they are very big. Because I'm sewing at this, I want to seam to make sure. So if you have to have pins, if you have to take out the pins, take out the pins. My pins are very thick, so I have to be careful. So what I'll do, I'll stop and take out all my pins. I think that's the best thing to do. Taking out the pin just take a long time. But it's better to be safe because my pins are very big. And you see, I'm sewing right at the very edge. So sorry guys, I'm gonna just speed up the video just for time's sake. So it's basically what I'm doing here is just
sewing and removing the pins. So I had to stop all the time and take off the pins. That's all I'm doing here until I'm done. So we're gonna just play a little soft music. There you go.
I'll finish this. I'm gonna turn it. I'll turn it this way now. So this is how it is here. This is the way I sew. This is where I sew. So we're gonna turn it this way now. And we're gonna do a top stitch. Okay. And you could also take out the threading. I'm gonna take it out after. But also take out with the basting thread. You don't need the basting thread anymore. So I'm gonna take it out after once I'm done. See? It's there. So I would say take out the basting thread first and then you do the top stitch. Okay, so now you do the top stitch. So remember we came out, we sew it this way already. Then we turn the skirt now. So this is how it is. We're not gonna be doing the top stitch this way. We have bent it this way now. So make sure you see what I do. So this is how it is here, right? You're gonna, so it was like this when we sew. We're gonna turn, so we was on this side, so we're gonna turn the skirt this side now. So you're gonna turn the skirt from this way now to this way, right? And then we're gonna bring it down like this. So just take your time, so that could be understood. So this is the back, this is the outside of the skirt now. And then we're gonna sew just the top down here, right at the very edge, so right here. So this is the waist area here. We're just gonna sew right at the very waist area.
So guys, for the top stitch, I would prefer you do a zigzag stitch. It would make the waistband more flexible, the elastic more flexible on the waist itself, so you could get more room to move. All right, so if you have a machine that you could do a zigzag stitch, is best for the top stitch. So just make it the same material, same everything, and then you should be fine itself. All right, so we're gonna listen to some music again.
Okay guys, so this is how the skirt look, right? Gorgeous. So I'm just gonna put it out there. So this is the part we sew. This is the inside, so this is the wrong side, the inside. So remember I said this is what we sew here. So we did a top stitch outside. So this is the top stitch on here. I'll bring it closer so you can see the top stitch here. to the top stitch. So the top stitch help the skirt, help the waistband stay in place nicely. All right, so we did it on the outside. So this is how we're gonna be wearing the skirt, just like that. Yeah. So the last thing to do now is to turn the skirt right sides to right side. So this is the right sides facing the camera now. I'm gonna turn right sides to right sides. I mean, this is the wrong sides here. So remember, this is the right sides here. I'm touching the right sides to right sides here. Right, and I'm gonna just sew this down nicely. Okay, so I'm just gonna sew it down, and the skirt is done. So now before you do that, I just want to make sure, like, I'm just gonna put it in the front here, right? Right, so maybe I could just sew 1 inch down, right? 1 inch down and I'm fine, right? So it fit me nicely. And see, 1 inch down, and I still have a lot of, because it's elastic, right? So I could put it this way. Yep. Okay. So 1 inch down, and then we'll see the bottom, the completion of the skirt. See, it's a very, very easy skirt. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna just sew the skirt as I mentioned to you. So I'm just gonna do a 1 inch seam. I think 1 inch is fine for me.
All right, so I speed up the last part here. So just go ahead and sew it down to your size as I mentioned to you. I speed up the video. It's just a matter of sewing down the sides, and pretty much the skirt is pretty much done. The last thing to do is just hem it to your desired length. All right, and then we'll see how it looks. There we go. Enjoy your skirt.
So this is it. That's it. The only thing, you could go ahead now and you could hem the bottom, right, to whatever length you want it. But yeah, that's it. That is it. You accessorize yourself and you are good to go. So this is one of the very easy basic skirts. As you can see, the elastic is here, right? Elastic is here, and you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. So when you do the top stitch, you make it a little bit more rigid, just to kind of keep it in place. So just keep that in mind. If you do the top stitch, you can do the top stitch as a zigzag, right? But other than that, I like it. It's fun. It's fabulous. I definitely click the link in our description below. There is a method of a step-by-step skirt making class that you yourself could sew. All right, I'll see you on our next video. Take care. This is Infinite Modesty Design.